As we turn back to New York right now to talk about a massive protest that's planned for today.
Dozens of farm workers with the coalition of Immokalee workers have entered their last day of a 5-day fast outside the Manhattan office of Nelson Peltz, the board chair and largest shareholder of the restaurant chain Wendy's. They're demanding Wendy's sign on to the Fair Food program, which would require the fast food giant to purchase tomatoes from growers that follow a worker-designed code of conduct that includes a zero-tolerance policy for sexual harassment and abuse in the fields. Wendy's is the only major fast food chain that has refused to sign on to the Fair Food program. McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Chipotle and Taco Bell have already signed on following protests by the coalition of Immokalee workers. Nelly Rodriguez is one of the farm workers taking part in the 5-day fast.
It does not discourage us. On the contrary, Wendy's refusal thus far to join the Fair Food program gives us the strength to be here as women, as mothers with families, as young people, the entire community of Immokalee who is here to fight for respect in the fields where Wendy's buys its tomatoes, and to show through our fast that we have a powerful commitment to this struggle. We've left behind our homes to show Wendy's that what this means to us, to show them that we're committed to creating change for all women.
Wendy's competitors, McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Chipotle and Taco Bell, all have joined the Fair Food program, which the coalition of Immokalee workers say has virtually ended sexual harassment and assault for tens of thousands of workers on participating farms in 7 states. The fast food today will end up in Time's Up Wednesday's march in New York. The fast today is going to end today. For more, we're joined by Gerardo Reyes-Chavez, a farm worker and organizer with the coalition of Immokalee workers, usually in Florida, but right now here in New York. You are wrapping up your fast today with a major march here in New York on Wendy's?
Yeah. Today is the last day of the 5 days that 81 people fasting in front of the headquarters of 3M Partners, which is where Nelson Peltz, one of the main investors and the president of the board of Wendy's, and the person who's really holding the keys for Wendy's to come to dialogue and reach an agreement with us is located. There's several people that are fasting with us in solidarity in different parts of the country, and we have been asking Wendy's to join the Fair Food program to make all the rights that we have expand to other areas, but overall to bring Wendy's to the table so that they don't just go and exploit people in Mexico, which is what they did when we as workers were able to land all of these changes for the lives of tens of thousands of workers, eliminating sexual harassment and all of that. They basically punished their own growers. The people that they were doing business for years for doing that. And they went to buy from Mexico, Bioparques de Occidente, a mega farm that had 270 workers in modern-day slavery in 2013. Then they moved to buy there 2 years later.
Well, what do you mean by modern-day slavery? What conditions do these workers have on the farms in Mexico?
Well, workers live in conditions where they didn't have the housing, for example, had no floors, no beds, no stoves, no bathrooms in some cases. And workers had to be freed by the intervention of the government in Mexico. So when you imagine all of these things, children working in the fields, women being promised 100 pesos per day, and I end up receiving from 50 to 60, and not all of them, you can see that the conditions were really, really desperate for workers, and that's what Wendy's went to support, and that's without even mentioning one of the situations that happens a lot, which is sexual harassment in the fields for farm worker women.
Democracy Now! Reached out to Wendy's for their response to the coalition of Immokalee workers' demands. Wendy's spokesperson replied with a lengthy statement which read in part, "The coalition of Immokalee workers is spreading false and misleading information about the Wendy's brand and our business practices and their continuing effort to extract a financial commitment from us. We will not join their program and pay fees directly to them. We will certainly not compromise our commitment to our customers to deliver only the highest quality, ethically sourced products from Wendy's every day. All of our suppliers are bound to a strict code of conduct that requires ethical practices, and certain fresh produce suppliers, including all tomato suppliers, undergo third-party certified human rights assessments. Gerardo, can you respond to what Wendy said? We're sorry they wouldn't come here in person or speak on the phone.
I mean, I would like to invite them to have an open discussion and debate if they were ready to prove that what they are saying is true. What we know is that we created, the Fair Food Program, and we have, as part of the Fair Food Program, there's a third-party organization, which is the Fair Food Standards Council, led by a judge from New York, working on the bench for 20 years. And they are the organization in charge of monitoring the pass-through of the penny per pound from the buyers to the farm workers directly. We could send you any stuff to show you how the bonus is marked. And we have all the data to show how the program works from bottom to top. What Wendy's is doing, basically, and that's without mentioning that there's 14 corporations that are doing this, that are working with us. What Wendy's is doing, it's basically going from misleading statements to basically accusations without base. And what we are saying is we invite them to join the Fair Food Program. We are not, we have all the information that's needed to prove that the lives of the workers are changing. They can come anytime to see how it works in the farms. And it's time for them to come to the table. They are, the way I see it, is that they are kind of like a boxer. We have been trying to bring them to the table for a while. And they have never gone too far as to basically just lie like this and insinuate that somehow we're asking them to pay something that's not going to the workers, because that's something that they have been doing. What we're saying is it's time for them to come to the table, and they are kind of swinging. They are feeling the pressure. So we know that they are going to join the program. But
where is your march today?
The march today, we are going to be marching from the Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza, which is on 2nd Avenue.
Near the United
East 47. Yeah. And we hope to have thousands of people. We're inviting people from New York to join us. And we know that Wendy's is desperate, and those are the actions of a desperate corporation, which is good for us, Children, women have come from Immokalee, living, work, standing on the cold, and all for the purpose of having dialogue with them.
Well, Gerardo, before we end, I just wanted you to say, you said 14 corporations are working with you, and they're these massive fast food chains, McDonald's, Burger King. Did you face initially the same kind of resistance from them as you're now facing from Wendy's? And what finally persuaded them?
Well, what persuaded them is the power of people. All the corporations since the beginning, they recognize, not publicly, obviously, but they feel the pressure. When we take to the streets, they realize that they are not going to be able to get away with all the abusive conditions and the dismissal towards workers in their supply chain, and they end up signing. We hope that Wendy's takes this opportunity to, instead of paying a firm or whoever they are paying to write lies about how the program works, this collaboration would be, to join the program and make sure that they use their leadership as the only one of the 5 major fast food corporations to do what's right, to participate and help make all of this stronger and expand it so that more workers are protected.
You'll break your fast at the protest?
We will, yeah. We will.
Gerardo Reyes-Chavez, farm worker, organizer with the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, began farm working at the age of 11. This is Democracy Now! When we come back, Rebecca Solnit joins us. Stay with us.